Okay. So ideally, we've just finished watching either The Great Hack or The Smartest Guys in the Room. To me, both are equally mind-blowing. With regard to The Great Hack, you learned about Brittany Kaiser, a young lady who had a series of choices to make. And it is arguable whether or not she's made good, sound, ethical choices. I want you, as one of your just research, quick answer, text it back to me, send me a message assignments, is to look up what Brittany Kaiser is doing now. And just shoot me a message, shoot me a text, shoot me an email through the Canvas messaging system, hit me up with my Gmail address, and tell me what she's up to. If you watched The Smartest Guys in the Room, which is a story about Enron, one of the top business companies in the world at their time. It went from #1 to 0 in record-breaking time. With that, tell me where the key players are. Tell me where Kenneth Lay is. Tell me where Skilling is. Tell me where some of the other key players are today. Where are they now? Give me a quick update. Regardless, you can see with both of these topics, both Brittany Kaiser and the company she worked for, with the gentleman who worked at Enron, you can see huge lapse in business ethics. And so as we jump back into the slides, I want you to be thinking about these two particular stories, whichever one you watched. Think about the decisions they made versus the topic that we're covering in the chapter, okay? So let's get back to it. Let's see. Boom. There we go. All right. Okay, so this slide shows an example of how business conduct can fall within legal and ethical dimensions. Individuals and businesses should aim to carry out actions that are not only legal, but obviously ethical. You can be legal and unethical, and we've seen that. We've seen that just in some of the typical scandals that we might see with the government, right? It could be legal. Is it ethical? For example, the Catholic Church, it was legal for them to go after PPP money set aside for small business to survive during a pandemic. Was it ethical? As a Catholic, I can say I don't feel it was ethical. I see far too many small businesses that have had to close down because they couldn't access those monies, because they couldn't survive through this pandemic. So these are things that we need to think about, okay? You can also take a look at this matrix as it continues. It looks at illegal and unethical situations, right? Embezzling money, for example. You can look at illegal actions and also ethical actions, right? So the matrix goes and covers all four sort of quadrants, if you will, of things, choices that we can make, both in business and as individuals. Okay, so for many people, ethical standards are different in different situations. Such situations are dangerous because they help people rationalize increasingly bigger ethical deviations. This problem can be fixed by identifying universal ethical standards. The nonprofit, nonpartisan character counts organizations identifies 6 core values that are shown here on the slide. These values transcend political, religious, class, and ethnic divisions. All right? Although each person can make his or her own ethical choices, the organization can have significant influence on the quality of those decisions. The interaction between employees' ethical choices and the organization's ethical choices is so intertwined that it's sometimes difficult to tell where one stops, where the others begin. You should probably think about some of those ethical situations yourselves. How many people here work part-time? Have you ever seen either a family member or yourself have come across ethical situations? A strong culture, a workplace culture, is definitely indicative of whether or not ethics will become a problem. When you take a look at, for example, Enron, the smart guys in the room, Enron, the culture there was very toxic, very sort of macho masculinity, gone run amok type of workplace environment, workplace culture. And it's that type of ethical, or I should say, that type of workplace culture that continue to feed upon itself some really, really awfully poor decisions that employees, managers, leaders there make, right? Now, the flip side of that is if you have a strong workplace culture, if you have a culture that believes in giving back to the community, and doing good for not just the consumers of your product or service, but for the community members who might not even be customers, then it takes on a whole different tone. You have a business that people want to work for. They want to do right, both by themselves and the people they work with, as well as the community where they're located. So, you have to back it up. A lot of times, companies will indoctrinate their ethical culture, their workplace culture. They will have a working document for people to refer to. This is who we are. This is how we act. This is what we believe, right? Typically, these are called your mission statement, your vision statement, and your core values as a company. Companies pick specific core values that they want to live by, that they want to work by. And so you'll see this more and more as you pay attention to different organizations. So a written code of ethics helps maintain an ethical work environment. An effective code of ethics connects the corporate values with organizational communication, training, and most importantly, action. Different organizations have different codes of ethics. The code of ethics is expected to be successful when the steps listed in these slides are followed. If some of you have already had some work experience, again, you may be seeing this, or you may have not seen this and noticed it right away, okay? Oftentimes, when you're in an organization that doesn't have a code of ethics, that doesn't have a set of core values, you're able to identify that so much more quickly than you are if they do. The ones that do will in fact have all of this documented so that employees can feel that much better about where they work and how and what an organization wants to do in order to represent itself to their customers and to the community in which they work. Business approach, they approach this across the spectrum that you see on the screen right now, okay? And so again, think about Brittany Kaiser. Think about Kenneth Skilling. Think about Cambridge Analytica. Think about Enron. Where do they fall on this spectrum? Think about your local mom and pop deli. Think about a dance studio that you know. Think about a bookstore. Where do they fall? And so now we get more into the idea of transforming your core values, your business ethics, into social responsibility. Do we as business owners, do we as business people, employees, do we have a responsibility to the communities in which we work? If I work for a company based in Poway, do I have a responsibility to the community of Poway? If I work here in San Diego, do I have a responsibility to do good for the community of San Diego? Is that a decision a business needs to take these days? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Keep thinking about it, okay? Alrighty, so a business should refer to its values, its mission, its resources, its management philosophy, while finding its position on the social responsibility spectrum. Socially responsible organizations identify their important stakeholders and consider the stakeholders' priorities while making decisions. Good companies will abide by something that's called the triple win. Is it good for the company? Is it good for the community? Is it good for our consumers? The 3 C's: company, consumer, community, the triple win. If you can answer yes to all 3, that's what equates to triple win, okay? Now let's talk about social responsibility a little bit more specifically, okay? Businesses should deliver consumer value by providing quality products at fair prices. They should also be honest and communicate well with their customers. A sincere apology, along with corrective steps, goes a long way in rebuilding a company's lost reputation. Businesses have to make money for their investors, and if they don't have investors, they have to make money in order to stay in business. You want to boil business down to one simple rule: I've got to make money to stay in business. If I'm a business owner, I have to do that. You can do it ethically, of course, but ultimately that's the bottom line. My job is to make a profit so I can stay in business, right? What you choose to do with those profits speaks a lot to your business ethics, speaks a lot to social responsibility. As a business owner, I'm of a mindset. I've got employees. I want to stay in business so that I can employ people, they can put food on their table and pay their bills. And hopefully we can do good for the community. Those are our goals, right? So they have to make money for their investors, but in the long run, companies are required to be responsible to all of their stakeholders. Companies may have to trade short-term profits for long-term success. They also have to meet all of their legal requirements. One of the businesses my wife and I run is a home health agency, and there are a ton of legal requirements in order to run a home health agency. We are talking about sending nurses and therapists into a patient's home to deliver services. Of course, there's going to be a lot of legal requirements, right? Same if you are a financial planner, for example. There are a lot of legal requirements in order for you to offer advice to people if you're a financial planner. So companies should see to it that they spend investor monies wisely, and they're honest in all of their dealings, business, financial, etc. So businesses contribute to society through philanthropy and responsibility. How many times have you gone to a 5K fun run or a family fun run? You do a 3-mile walk, a 5-mile run, turkey trot on Thanksgiving Day, right? You'll see a lot of people there. Oftentimes you'll see a company come out with a bunch of their employees and they're representing their company in order to support the community, right? So you've got the Susan G. Komen 5K, 10K family fun run. And then you see a series of healthcare companies that are out there with their employees. They're representing their company. It's a fun morning to get together and do something good for the community, right? Susan G. Komen, cancer research. I mean, what's not to like about supporting something like that in the community? So that's what we mean by corporate philanthropy. Okay, businesses make donations to nonprofit groups. Some of this includes donations of employee time, money, and sometimes products. Some philanthropic organizations adapt the route of cause-related marketing. Corporate responsibility is a policy that relates closely to philanthropy, but focuses on the actions of the business itself rather than the donation of money and time. Okay, so here is where we're going to pause this portion of the lecture, because what I want you to do is watch one more video. I know this is a video heavy chapter, and I promise the coming weeks won't be this heavy with video, but I feel like the videos that I choose add to the content of the chapter, and it helps drive the points home of what it is we're talking about. It gives you living examples of what we're talking about in the chapter. And so there obviously will be continue to be videos, but I know you've had to watch 2 hours already, and I'm probably going to get this next one's about an hour, so it's a little heavier this week than usual. But take a look at the Tom's story. Tom's is the shoe company, right? And they're famous for, typically I say, who knows what Tom's is about, but we can't do that. So Tom's is famous for when you buy a pair of shoes, they give away a pair of shoes to someone less fortunate in the world. And it's an incredible story of how this business came to be. So stop the video, hit the next link in the announcement for the lecture part 2, and take a look at the Tom story, and then we'll come back and finish off the lecture for the chapter. See you soon.